Not everybody's day goes according to plan. A lot of people, when their day falls apart, go online and share what's happened. I share their stories with you. Epic fails on Rock 107.
Have you heard about the lonesome loser? He's a loser, but he still keeps on trying.
After my husband got ready for work, he touched my arm and slowly bent down. I assumed he was going to say he loved me and to have a good day. As I quickly thought of a loving response and prepared to give him a kiss, he whispered in my ear, "Did you put a dead mouse in the toilet?" "Thanks a lot, cat."
He's a big baby loser.
I found out that my sister's been telling people I've been dead for the last 3 months to cover up the fact that she used me to commit identity fraud. We're twins.
Am I a loser?
I've got a complaint from my neighbor about a little girl staring at her through my guest bedroom window for the past month. I live alone. Now I'm scared to live in my own house.
Are you a big loser? Yes, you are. You are a loser.
Their lack of success makes us feel better about our lives. Epic fails on Rock 107. My ex-husband got married to my daughter. She's 18, a high school dropout, and pregnant with his child. She strongly believes she'll have a bright future with him.
Sorry, you're such a loser.
An elderly man came into my place of work wearing a nice suit. I commented, saying he looked nice, and asked what the special occasion was. He said he's going to his wife's funeral. I wrote a song for my ex-girlfriend, hoping maybe we could give it another try. I emailed the song to her and went about my day, wondering if she would respond. About 6 hours later, a deputy knocked on my door and served me with an order of protection.
I'm a loser.
Their defeat is our victory. Epic fails on Rock 107. I had a heat rash on my crotch. I asked my mom for cortisone cream. While I was putting it on, it started to burn suddenly. Turns out she gave me arthritis cream.
Loser.
I found out my 36-year-old wife has been cyber stalking an 18-year-old girl for a week. I only found out when my wife's online business started getting backlash.
Loser.
On my Facebook, the stripper my ex-husband cheated on me with showed up in People You May Know section.
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Family Dollar has recalled hundreds of products around the country because they were stored at incorrect temperatures. But hey, what's shopping at Family Dollar without the thrill of gambling your life? The so-called murder hornet has been renamed. Now that it's found a good defense lawyer, it'll be called the second-degree manslaughter hornet. Kourtney Kardashian has shared photos from her wedding. I know, shocking. That family's usually so coy about their personal lives.
It's 60 Minutes meets Gone in 60 Seconds. Tune in Monday for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Rant may cause you to pull your hair out, scream at the radio, punch the dashboard. Complaints should be addressed to Loudmouth Yambag at rock107.com.
Hey, I'm Rock 107's Prospector, and here's what's got me jacked. It's tough to walk in Northeast PA. And I'm not talking about getting in the car, driving to a park or a trailhead and walking the dike or trail to get a little exercise. No, that's actually easier to do than ever in Northeast PA. I'm talking about walking to work, or walking to the grocery store, or walking to the doctor's office, or simply walking across the street. Yeah, that's tough to do in Northeast PA. And it's not just here, but since this is where we call home, let's talk about walking in Northeast PA. Think about all the stories you see in the news and on TV about people getting killed while walking. It's astounding. And yeah, some people jump out into traffic from between cars without looking, but just as many drivers speed through city streets like they're pulling out of the tunnel turn at Pocono. So let's not blame each other. Let's think about how we can make it safer. Think about how many multiple lane roads pedestrians are forced to cross in our area. And there's a ton in just downtown Wilkes-Barre. But add in Pittston, Hazleton, Scranton, Dunmore, Hanover, Dixon City, Nanticoke, and so many other towns that have their share too. Think about shopping districts in suburbs in Northeast PA. Do you see a lot of sidewalks there? No, not usually. That's why you see people walking on the shoulder up Viewmont Drive or walking down a thin path carved out of the grass in the arena in Wilkes-Barre Township. It's horrible planning. Not everyone has a car. Not everyone can afford a bus or Or maybe the schedule doesn't coincide with their appointments. We shouldn't be shaming people for walking. We shouldn't be pushing them aside or treating them like second or third class citizens. It's good for us to walk. I would argue most of us could stand to walk some more. We should be designing cities and towns that are easier to walk in. And that means better crosswalks, roads downtown designed to reduce vehicle speeds, sidewalks in commercial districts. Rid ourselves of that car-first design mentality. Cars are great. I got one. I love it. But they're not the only thing streets are for. We had streets thousands of years before we had cars. We need to stop killing and maiming our citizens and make it easier for them to get around. Mass transit is great, and many people who use it still have to hoof it part of the way to their destination. So let's make it safer for them to do so. And if you're one of these idiots that's just so selfish that you think, none of this matters to me, I'm driving all the time. Let me put it to you this way. Safer for pedestrians means fewer accidents, which in turn means lower insurance rates. Is that good enough for you, you selfish yambag? I'm Prospector. I'm for the people. Who's with me? I gotta go crazy, man!
Ever see the crazy guy screaming at the wall outside the Times building?
Where does this rage come from, my son?
Tweet us with hashtag I found Prospector, and we'll come and get him. Prospector, mornings on Rock 107.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
A woman ran up to an Ohio family's Ring camera earlier this month to alert them that their garage was on fire, and all 11 family members made it out of the house safely thanks to her.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
And now it's time for another episode of 1 Minute Inside a Woman's Head.
$5,000 for tickets to see Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band? That's a vacation. That's a down payment on a new car. That's crazy. That's highway robbery. I would love to see Bruce, but I can't plunk down $5,000 to sit 65 rows back on the floor and look over someone's head to see a video screen. You ever notice dynamic pricing doesn't work the other way? Think about it. With dynamic pricing, it would cost like $5 to see Third Eye Blind, or maybe someone would pay you $30 to go see Post Malone. Dynamic pricing. How about a ripoff?
And that was another episode of 1 Minute Inside a Woman's Head.
Another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
Some people are bitching that Ticketmaster's dynamic pricing is charging $5,000 to see Bruce Springsteen. Hey, good. If it costs that much, she's too cheap to pony up the dough, and I can stay home. That's a win.
And that was another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
What's a yambag? A fool, an idiot, a blockhead, a dunce, or an ignoramus. You know, a dullard, simpleton, or a clot, nitwit, dipstick, pea-brain, mouth breather, or cretin.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Yambag of the Week.
Here are the nominees. Nominee number 1.
A California woman is in jail after dressing up like a nurse and trying to steal a newborn. Police say she walked into a patient's room, claimed to be a nurse, and tried to take the patient's baby. She ran off without the child and was caught a short time later.
Nominee number 2.
2 guys were arrested in the United Kingdom recently after stealing $36,000 worth of Wrigley's chewing gum from a truck. They did it to pay off drug debts, and they got off easy because they didn't have a prior criminal record.
Nominee number 3.
A pastor in New York City was robbed on Sunday in the middle of a service which was being live streamed. They stole his jewelry, which was apparently worth around $1 million. Police are investigating.
Nominee number 4.
A man in Florida was arrested for drunkenly driving a Walmart scooter down the aisles of the store, running into shelves and displays, and almost hitting other customers. He was charged with 4 misdemeanors.
And the winner is
the woman who dressed up as a nurse and tried to steal a newborn from a maternity ward. You're the Yambag of the Week. Thank God you didn't get away with it. Morning. You are the Yambag of the week. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yambag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107. Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app. A free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.